I'm going to make some risotto. Risotto with chicken or turkey, okra, mushrooms, tomato, garlic, white wine, and garlic basil puree, which I have a recipe for, a video, or just plain basil puree, which is mixed with a little olive oil, a lot of basil, put it in the Cuisinart, freeze it, and use it whenever you need it. And that's about 2.5 tablespoons of butter. You can use olive oil, but I had a little piece left over, so I go, oh, what the hell. And have some hot chicken stock sitting in the back, about a quart. You may need it all, you may not, but that's what you have to have ready. Unless you want to use a vegetable stock. So that's up to you. It really doesn't matter. First thing we're going to do is just saute the I'm going to put some of this back later, but all I need is a little bit now to saute the okra, which you got to saute to get that slime off of it. It is fresh, not frozen, with the shallots, because they won't give off any liquid, and the garlic too. And we'll wait for the tomato and the mushroom, because that's not going to help me saute. It's going to start to simmer and boil. So we'll saute this, and we'll wait for the turkey. Of course, the risotto will take about, I don't know, 17 minutes, 15 minutes. Take a little of, season everything as you go. A little salt and pepper. So that's another 3 minutes. Now we're so close to the end if it's not ready yet. So just taste a little piece of the rice, if you can get it. It's just a little firm, a little bit firm. We're going to go 2 more minutes. No, we'll go 3 minutes. So this will be we have a total of 21. This will take 24 minutes, so I was a little off on my guess. I hadn't made risotto in about 5-6 months. The consistency is like good right now, but we're still cooking and reducing. So at this point, I'm going to wait another minute, and then I'm going to add the, you know what, that's the rest of a quart. That's it, 1 full quart of stock to make this. And we still have 2 minutes to go, so this will reduce. This should come out just right. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, that's the end. Now, it may take you a minute or 2 longer, or a minute less than what I have, because I was fooling around with the timer. And now we're going to add the basil. Just 1 minute of mixing this, because that was cold. Now if you're against using basil, You could throw thyme in there, oregano, cumin, shrimps, lobster, mussels. Everything goes with risotto. And that's it. See how nice and creamy? Shut that off. Put it on a plate and look at it. If you notice, it's not watery. It just sits there very nicely. Now if you let this sit in the pan for another 10-15 minutes, it's going to firm up. That's why risotto has to be served immediately. And as far as the taste, it's too hot. Forgot one item. What happened to the... And I didn't even put it on the recipe. It just hit me because I'm so used to eating it with it that Parmesan cheese, and now it's finished because I wasn't picking up the taste of the cheese in there when I just tasted it. Okay. Great. Enjoy. Well, a moderate to high flame. And after a few minutes of sauteing this, I'll add the tomatoes and the mushroom, the rest of the butter. We'll cook start cooking the risotto, and I'll add the turkey about halfway. No reason to add it at the beginning and have it well overcooked. Okay, so this will take about, let's say you spend about 4 minutes doing this. And I'll just show you what I mean about getting the stringiness. You see that? That little string there, that's like slime. That's got to be gone before we add anything else to this. Okay? Well, that's the end of 4 minutes, and that looks pretty good. So now we'll add the rest. The basil will go in at the very end. Why? To keep the color, and the flavor is instant anyway. So let's raise this a little bit. A little more salt, pepper. It's nice to have a mix like this. That's one less thing to shake. Just take salt, put some pepper in it, the amount that you like. Taste this with your finger, and just makes life easier in the kitchen. And that's what we try to do. This is going to be colorful too, nice. Okay, that's that. And here's the risotto. That's aborio. Now you got to kind of stay with this. Okay, now it's coated nicely. Now you can start adding liquid. And you just keep on moving it. And I'm going to set the timer for 8 minutes and see where we're at, and I'll probably add the turkey at that time. Kitchen timer, 8 minutes. Start. I'm going to put the white wine in there. Use a dry white wine. Don't use a cheap cooking wine. And now we'll add some of the chicken stock in a second. This has to be cooking. This can't be extremely low. So see how it's going? Okay, so like that. Not too high, but you want to watch it cook, not a simmer. So we have some hot chicken stock in the back. We'll put a little in. Keep on stirring, and what's going to happen, it'll reduce. As it reduces, you just add a little bit more. And then at the very end, well, before I say at the very end, you know, you make this risotto, and there's a way of cooking it like 3/4 of the way, because you don't want to be standing here. Let's say you have people over and this is one of the items on the menu for a little buffet dinner. So you can cook this 3/4 of the way, set it off to the side, and then finish it. You just have to know how much and when and how. It just takes a little practice. And then aside from that, if you're just having this for dinner, like this will be dinner tonight with the turkey in there, complete meal. You cook it. When it's done, you serve it immediately. Because if you don't, you'll see it start to firm up on you, and that is not what you want. This has to be almost loose like this, just about in the plate. Very similar to what it looks like now. So now we'll just add some more stock. Keep stirring. And don't use a dry chicken flavoring. It has to be a liquid. What's very good is a collagen brand. And if you should be so lucky as to have a fresh chicken laying around, cook it, and then you just clean all the chicken off of the whole chicken and throw that in here after it's completely done. And you have your chicken risotto with chicken. That's the best way to do it. Boil whole chicken. You have a nice beautiful stock, and then you have the chicken pieces to rip off the chicken and throw into this any old which way you want. So I'm going to shut this film off for right now, and I have 4 more minutes. Well, it's been 4 minutes, and if you could tell the difference, the only difference is it's growing a little bit as the rice cooks, starts to expand. I'm still going to wait another 5 minutes before I add the turkey, so I'll set it for 5 more minutes. Well, that's the end of 5 minutes. So we have, if my addition is correct, I think we're 13 minutes into this, and now I'm adding the turkey. Or if you were using a whole chicken like I suggested, then of course you wouldn't be doing this now. This is raw. And I will set the timer for 5 minutes. And that'll give us the total of 18 minutes. And we might be done with this. So that's a half a pound of raw turkey in there. Or it could be raw chicken. So, how many people is this going to feed? For me, it looks like one with a little leftover. Because if 2 people are eating this, it'll be a little close. Unless they're Weight Watchers, then it's perfect. And I don't mean members of Weight Watcher, I mean just watching their weight. So we'll keep mixing this for the remainder of the 5 minutes. Wow, those 5 minutes went quick. Now I'm not adding heavy cream to this. Normally I would put like maybe a quarter of a cup, half a cup of heavy cream right into this, right towards at the very end. It's just for color and for taste. Almost done. And since I use turkey in here, I'm tasting the turkey. So it gave off nice flavor. And of course the mushrooms, always good in the sauce. And I've used almost, this will take another few minutes. I think 3 minutes. Let's set the timer. Because the rice is just about done. So as you go adding, I've used just shy of a quart of stock in this to show you how it reduces, because you're cooking without it being covered. Of course it's going to reduce. And we're going to add just a little more salt and pepper. You do this to taste. Actually, I'm cooking this for somebody else, so that's why I'm seasoning it well. Otherwise, I would leave the salt out at this point and just put some hot sauce in there. And we don't want to forget the basil that's going to go in there. So you have nice flavor from everything. You don't need a lot of salt. But the person that I'm making this for put salt on everything that I season, even if it's seasoned well. Okay, so we're going to come back in a minute and 40 seconds.